When you look at a gimlet, it should have everything. It should be spirit forward. It should have citrus. It should have a bit of sweetness. It should have a touch of everything. When you have a real simple cocktail, you've got a canvas to work with. The idea of being able to be involved heavily with food, heavily with wine, and then obviously put my stamp on the way I do things in a venue that doesn't exist really in Melbourne. Hi, my name's Cameron. I work for Gimlet. I run the bar program here. Bartending wasn't really a thing that I chose to, but when I fell after going through uni and started going out a lot more, it was a lot of the social scene, really the lifestyle that really drew me into it. Having been able to kind of like go out and party a little bit. It was a bit of like a rock and roll lifestyle when you're 21, 22, and that really, really draws you into when you start kind of, earning your stripes. It wasn't really until I moved back to Australia. I found myself working at a place called Bulletin Place, and really kind of showed me what more there was. The things at Bulletin Place that really drew me in was, the way they work with produce. And that's kind of what got me into wanting to do more cocktails. It wasn't necessarily the making of the cocktail, it was the working with the growers, working with the farmers, working with the people around behind the scenes, and then using their produce to make something that can be really rewarding. The difference between classic and modern counterparts, I've been very fortunate enough to work in two very different venues that pride themselves on both elements. So my time obviously here is very much more a modern approach. And then my time at the Everleigh is very much classic. Classic is all down to the raw ingredients and making them the best of the ability. So that means all the little attention to detail. You have three, four flavors. There's nothing behind. You have to make sure that every bit of ingredient is done correctly, and that's down to pouring, shaking, even the ice, always the ice. I would say that happens in the modern day as well, which people forget about. With modern techniques and modern classics, now it's moving towards kind of a lot more produce and what they're doing with the produce and the techniques that they're using. So it's on trend to ferment a lot of things, and it's on trend to use interesting ingredients and distill them. They have both their positives and negatives. Classics generally they're always great, but at the moment they're not, challenging, and they're not saying, oh my God, blowing my mind. Whereas now you have modern classics and someone will do something crazy and you're like, oh my God, that's amazing. In the same token, there's a lot of people who just don't get it right. It's a bit too far, and sometimes you want to drink something that you're going to enjoy. The classic gimlet, it is a bit of a, it doesn't have a lot to give, to be honest, if you think about it. The classic gimlet is gin and roses lime cordial. It was developed around the Navy kind of to prevent scurvy, and was sat at like a 50-50 ratio. That's kind of pretty much 50% cordial, 50% gin, mostly just to cover up how bad the gin was. Our gimlet is gin, 3 types of lime. So we take some finger lime, desert lime, fresh lime. There's bergamot. Then we use some grapefruit and lemon, a little bit of orange in there as well, and we just basically make this amazing citrus dominant drink. Each individual component, for example, the gelatin wax. Gelatin wax is a native flower. Again, it has that flavor of kaffir lime. So you're layering more flavors of citrus, and then obviously adding a touch of Moscato was the orange blossom. That notes that you want to, again, layering citrus. It was making a drink that focused on, the citrus elements and making sure that you can build complexity and they all sing back to the classic, but with that real, modern touch that we need to be looking towards. Otherwise, you just end up doing the same thing everyone else is doing. The response to the drink has been absolutely incredible. It outsells everything by at least 3 to 1. You would expect that coming into a venue named Gimlet, but I didn't think it would kick off as it did. You know, people have it before dinner and after dinner, and they don't even really want to talk about what other things are on the menu, which is a blessing, but also, you know, sometimes it can be a bit of a, you know, well, I've made all these other drinks that are also good, but the Gimlet itself has been received so well, and the way I came about it was just trial and error, over and again, a lot of repetition, a lot of Gimlets. I've tasted a lot of Gimlets, and it's, I think that's the reason why I literally don't know what it tastes like anymore.